In a world where loyalty is everything and betrayal can cost you your life, one man dared to defy the unspoken code. The Hells Angels are more than just a biker gang. They're famous all over the world. But what happens when one of their top guys, David Atwell, decides to leave and spill all their secrets? This choice didn't just change his life, it also gave us a look inside one of the most hidden groups out there. Stick with us as we dive into this amazing story of bikes, trouble, and one man's brave choice. Born in Scarborough, Ontario in 1965, David Atwell grew up in an era where the roar of motorcycle engines was more than just a sound, it was a call to freedom, adventure, and rebellion. The 1960s were a time when the world was still feeling the aftershocks of World War II, and the allure of motorcycle clubs was at its peak. Hollywood glamorized the biker lifestyle, churning out films that showcased the thrill of the open road. For young David, motorcycles weren't just a trend, they were a way of life. From his early days riding bikes, it was clear that the two-wheeled machines held a special place in his heart. However, before the world of biker gangs beckoned him, Atwell took on roles that seemed far removed from the rebellious image of a biker. Working as a bouncer in his teens, he showcased his intelligence and wit. This job paved the way for a position in security, where he rubbed shoulders with Toronto's elite. But as fate would have it, the pull of the motorcycle club culture was too strong to resist. The Paradise Riders, a Toronto-based biker club, would be his first step into a world that would define his future. December 2000 marked a pivotal moment for David Atwell and the Paradise Riders. The decision to patch over into the Hells Angels was unanimous, and Atwell, like his friends, was optimistic. He assumed that life would continue much as it had, just with a more renowned name on his jacket. However, the reality was far from his expectations. The initial process into the Hells Angels was nothing short of a reality check. Gone were the days of casual rides and brotherly camaraderie that defined the Paradise Riders. In its place was a strict hierarchy that demanded unwavering loyalty and service to higher-ranking members. Atwell found himself in a new world where the rules were more rigid and the stakes were higher. The Hells Angels were not just a club, they were an organization with international reach and influence. The responsibilities were greater and the consequences for mistakes were severe. The casual biker in Atwell had to adapt quickly to this new environment where every action was scrutinized and every decision had lasting impact. The transition was a defining period for Atwell as he navigated the complexities of a club that was as much about power and influence as it was about motorcycles. It was a far cry from the Paradise Riders, and it set the stage for the dramatic events that would unfold in his life. By 2002, David Atwell found himself in a situation he never thought he'd be involved in: the drug trade. The allure of quick money and the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle within the Hells Angels led him down a path he'd later wish he could erase. His wake-up call came abruptly when he was arrested for drug dealing. Though the charges were eventually dismissed, the experience served as a glaring mirror, forcing him to confront the choices he had made. The arrest was a pivotal moment that left him questioning the path he was on. No longer could he ignore the moral and legal implications of his actions. The experience was a harsh lesson in the realities of a life of crime, and it planted the seeds of doubt and regret in his mind. It was a far cry from his earlier days as a casual biker, and it marked a significant departure from the ideals that once guided him. Suddenly, the weight of his decisions came crashing down, and Atwell found himself at a crossroads. He began to search for a way out, a way to undo or at least mitigate the damage he had done. This period of soul-searching would become a crucial chapter in his life, setting the stage for the difficult but necessary changes that lay ahead. In 2005, David Atwell faced a decision that would forever alter the course of his life. Offered a deal by the police that included $500,000 and witness protection, he chose to become an informant. The offer was too tempting to pass up, especially given his growing unease with his life choices and the path he was on. This marked his entry into Project Develop, a police operation with the sole focus of bringing down the Hells Angels. The decision was filled with risk and moral complexity. On one hand, it offered him a way out of a life that had gone out of control. On the other, it meant betraying the very people he had once considered friends and allies. The stakes were incredibly high, not just for him, but also for the police operation he was now a part of. His role was crucial. He had insider knowledge that could make or break the case against the Hells Angels. As he stepped into his new role, Atwell was acutely aware of the gravity of his actions. He was trading one form of danger for another, moving from the perilous world of drug dealing to the equally hazardous life of an informant. Yet it was a step he felt compelled to take, driven by a mix of regret, hope for a better future, and the allure of the deal he had been offered. This chapter in his life was a turning point, setting him on a new, uncertain path, but one that held the promise of redemption. David Atwell's choice to help the police had huge effects. He gave them the info they needed to make a lot of arrests. This was a big win for the good guys, but for David, it came at a high price. He lost his friends, and even his family turned their backs on him. Now he lives a life where he's always looking around, worried about who might be coming for him. It's scary, but he also knows he did something important. His tips helped make the streets safer, even if it messed up his own life. So what's left for David? He's stuck in the middle. He can't go back to his old life, and his new life is full of worry. But deep down, he knows he did the right thing. His life is hard now, but he also knows he made a difference. It's a mix of good and bad feelings, but one thing is clear. What he did had a big impact, for better or for worse. So there you have it, the unbelievable story of David Atwell, a man who went from being a high-ranking Hells Angels member to a police informant. It's a story of moral dilemmas, life-changing decisions, and the courage to do what's right, even when it comes at a high cost. If this story gripped you, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support helps us bring you more incredible stories like this one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Trust us, you won't want to miss what we have in store for you. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious and stay safe.